All right, now if y'all watched my last video on triple support, linked in the comments down below and the little card up top, this is the other half of that conversation. On one end, we got people wanting to overload healing. On the other end, we got people who expect solo tanks to produce miracles. This isn't about tanks being bad, it's about the game changing. And while solo tank mindset has stayed the same, and yes, solo tank can win you games, but that's in lower pressure situations. But consistency is what matters if you're really trying to win games. And we just got to get over this solo tanking ain't it no more, playboy. Now, when you only have one tank, you're asking a lot of that one player. He's got to start fight. He's got to hold some space. He's going to have to peel. He's going to have to eat some damage and enable some DPS all at one time. And that used to work when the game was slower. There was more mistakes that were more forgivable. But now the pace is so fast. Damage windows are super short. Crowd controls are getting stacked. You're getting freaking multiple CC'd. It's not the fact that the tank is bad, it's just they're late to everything. One character can't be everywhere at once. And one of those jobs fail, we start blaming the tank. Oh, why is the tank not peeling? Why is the tank not taking up space? But it's only one player. And this ties directly into the triple support issue. Supports are living longer. Now they have more self-peel and they punish commits even harder. They don't panic the way they used to. With only one tank, every engage becomes very counterable. It becomes very obvious. The cooldowns are being tracked more. Every dive is getting answered. And you go in, you push to the back line, you get stunned, you get slowed, you get displaced, and all of a sudden your tank gets deleted. Then people say the tank is feeding, when in reality, it's just a prepared backline. And it all happens so fast. You don't get extended fights anymore. You get one clean moment, and if you fail, the fight's over. The old tanking mindset was simple. Tanks walk forward, the space becomes yours, and that's not how it works anymore. Space has now become temporary, contested, and collapses instantly if it's not supported. With a solo tank, the moment that they disengage, they get forced back, the DPS is losing its angles, the supports retreat, and nobody even dies. But the team already on the back foot, cooldowns are gone, positioning's broken, and the next engage is even weaker. It's not when the tank dies that you lose, it's when the space behind them disappears and never comes back. Quick thing, if this is starting to click for you, you probably already started to think about your own games differently. This is the kind of meta stuff I'm going to keep breaking down as the game evolves and as I evolve. And if that's your thing, make sure you subscribe. All right, let's get back to it. This is why I believe two frontliners or two tanks feel so much better. Not two double shields, not old tank spam, but shared pressure. Your cooldowns are getting split, engages are becoming more staggered, attention's getting divided. You have one frontliner who can force reaction, and the other one's taking up space. The frontliner becomes a system instead of a single failure point. That's why these comps feel calmer to play. There's less panic, fewer desperation. There's way more room for DPS and supports to do their job. Back to the first part that we talked about. You're asking one tank to do a lot, and when that one tank dies, the entire team falls apart. You've got one tank that you want them to create space, you want them to hold space, and then you also want them to peel for you. Like, that's a lot of travel time for a tank to do, which is why I arguably will say that I think Thor is the best tank, because he's able to do that, I think, at the highest level. He's got enough speed to manage the front, to get back to help the support. He's got enough defense to be a frontliner. But again, you're asking a lot of one person. That's why I solely believe in this meta. If we're not running two tanks, we're going to lose. And I'm tired of solo tanking in this season. On one end, you've got triple support that fails because it stacks healing without pressure. And on the other side of the coin, you've got solo tanks fail because it stacks responsibility without backups. Both are extremes. And extremes are not surviving this meta. The teams that are winning right now, they aren't stacking roles. They're distributing pressure across the team. Everyone contributes to taking up space and threat and survivability. Once you see it that way, a lot of these bad comps that we quote-unquote say are starting to make sense. They're not random. They're adapting to how the game actually plays now. I think we've gotten to a point in Marvel Rivals that we're either going to follow what we see the big streamers playing in GMs and the Celestial ranks, and we try to bring that down to lower ranks, and people just don't play like that. Like the skill gap is completely different. Or we're looking at it from, well, this worked in the last season, or one tank has always been good enough because I've won games. Like, no, bro. Eventually you have to evolve and go with the game and the flow. At one point, triple support was extremely broken because nobody knew how to counter it. But now we know how to counter it. It's kind of like, oh, okay. It's not as good as it used to be. At one point, we could get away with the solo tank. But now there's too much pressure, too much space that needs to be taken. Y'all have too much peeling. One tank ain't enough no more. But if y'all's tank is feeling useless lately, it's probably not the hero, it's the comp. One character cannot control space, enable damage, and survive focus. That expectation doesn't exist in this meta anymore. The game didn't kill tanks, it killed the idea that one person could do everything. But go ahead and drop a comment down below with your comps, and let me know what y'all are winning with right now. And I'm going to catch y'all with the next one.